Good afternoon. Dealing with thousands of suppliers creates some interesting communication issues for us. And if we're not careful, develops quite an exceptional cost base for us dealing with that communication. Good afternoon, my name is Andy Holmes. I'm the Global Sourcing Director for Wolseley plc. We claim to be the largest building materials distributor in the world. Today I've been asked to take you through the process that our Wolseley UK business went through when it was encouraging its supply base to engage in XML transactions. So I'll endeavour to do that as quickly as I can. Hold on, we have a technology issue here. We'll go to manual. Okay. Quickly through the agenda, I'll take you through who Wolseley is, just to give you a basic background. We have a website, and if you'd like to go onto the website, we've just released our figures as well today. Then I'll go through our success factors and our experiences that we went through, and hopefully at the end we have about 5 or 10 minutes for some questions, which I hope to be able to answer for you. Let's have a look at Wolseley in depth. We are #1 plumbing and heating distributor now into building materials. We're 11.3 billion in sales with 720 million in turnover in last year's numbers. The new numbers are now posted on the websites. We double our size every 5 to 7 years. We're based in Europe and North America currently. We've just taken on a new acquisition for 1.6 million in Denmark, taking us into the Nordic states. And today we announced a 25% growth in revenue and a similar growth in our profitability. Okay, looking at the background of XML. With that diversity of business, we in the Wolseley business found it very difficult to get to communicate with all of our suppliers. So we needed to find a way to get to them quickly, efficiently, and XML, as we call it, or electronic trading, seemed to be the most optimum way of doing it. Now, I'm a buyer, not a technician, so my job was to engage the supply chain in accepting our position on this. We have a huge range of product base. We deliver all materials from the 10-foot sewer drain to the wire mesh that goes in the top of a chimney pot to stop birds falling down it. In some of our businesses, we actually build properties for our customers. We needed a solution that could get to thousands of suppliers, and we needed to do it within a timely fashion. We have in the UK alone 420,000 live products and an offer that says to our customer base, if you order it, we'll get it for you. We call this our specials base, and it's a key differentiator and something that we try and protect from our competition. To give you an idea of the volumes we're generating with these companies, we're generating over 200,000 invoices in Wolseley UK every month. In 2004, we had a meeting. We brought some of our key suppliers in and explained to those suppliers that we would be engaging in XML, electronic data trading. Now, some of these guys had engaged with us over the last 5 years, but we told them we were going to extend this through our whole supply chain. And I've got to say, the industry met us with, it's fair to say, skepticism. And they met us with skepticism for good reason. The industry we're dealing with are one-man bands, guys who make things for us, small companies, often IT illiterate, all the way through to global companies who have IT teams that are huge that can't seem to take on any new ideas. So between the two, we had to work with the guys. We needed this recognized by our supplier, who would help us communicate to these smaller companies and to our larger companies. So the way we did this, we looked at 2 packages. We looked at the traditional all-encompassing packages, full integration, which many of you are aware of. And we have a very good service provider on that. And then we needed to find a solution that, if we needed to, could be rolled out over the top of these smaller suppliers. That was going to be easy for our guys to introduce. Our supply partners often didn't have the technology, so we needed to bring them in as fastly as we could. We looked at this and we decided that probably the best route to go is to use the internet. Why the internet? Because most people are now trading on the internet at home, working on the internet, and if they're not doing it, certainly their sons and daughters are. So we decided to adopt that platform. With 6,500 suppliers, when we looked at the traditional solution, all of the traditional solutions require quite a heavy IT presence and competency. With the complex solution that we were trying to deliver, many of these packages were inflexible to get down to these smaller customers. And as for training, many of our current suppliers don't have the time or the resource to go through a training mechanism. So we had to take off those and have a look how to deliver those. We looked at our existing uptake. 150 suppliers had engaged with us on our current package, which was quite impressive, but it had taken us between 3 and 5 years. This needed to be accelerated, and with a little bit of research in the marketplace, we went back and we found a solution provider. And it's fair to say the solution provider was not selling the idea of electronic transmission in the way we wanted it, so we had to work with that company to develop its current packages. So a new strategy was required by us, and our criteria was the same as many of you in this room. It was speed. Speed for Wolsey means getting to thousands of suppliers without having to use too much manual resource back in our IT team. Ease of adoption. It's quite easy for a large customer such as ourselves to push smaller suppliers into a situation of adopting processes we want them to take. But that wasn't the point. This was meant to be a shared benefit. We wanted them to adopt it, extend it down in their supply chain, and share their competencies with their suppliers, so improving the whole supply chain, and Wolsey would eventually benefit. And more importantly for us, it had to be scalable. Scalable because of the growth, and scalable because of the complexity of our business. Already we've moved from building materials into electrical materials, and we're constantly moving into different areas and different arenas. This attracts new suppliers, and with the new suppliers attracts more complexity. So rapid rollout became quite important to us because otherwise we'd be playing a continuous catch-up game. Accessing thousands of suppliers was the key challenge. Convincing them of the solution was primary in our objective. And keeping this an iterative process, a self-learning process, and an opportunity for these guys to develop and create this process further down the supply chain was absolutely key to its success factor. I've got to be careful when I say low cost. Low cost, everybody starts jumping on, and especially those of us that have got to do various paperwork to get these projects signed off. So what is low cost?